What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Wrestling World Podcast. I'm your host, AJ. And before we get into tonight's video, please hit that like and sub button and hit that notification bell for your latest wrestling news, rumors, content, and spoilers. Well, you may have seen my last video on my health update on Mike Rotunda being a very positive one, as he is not on hospice, he is in recovery. So that's a positive update. But this video right here tonight, it's not going to be as positive as Ronda Rousey has made comments about WWE, saying she will never return to the company, saying, "Not my circus, not my monkey." Now, a couple of sources have posted this, and I believe it because it's something Ronda would say. Now, she's commenting on WWE, saying it was chaotic. Her time in WWE is crazy. She wasn't happy about a WrestleMania match. I mean, this girl is going on. Now, this is somebody who made a lot of money with WWE. Don't get me wrong, you know she has. Worked with some of the best. Natalia. I believe she worked with Kurt Angle. A lot of big names in the business, right? Even including Triple H and Stephanie and all those other ones. Um, and now she is talking about WWE, and this is not the first time that she spoke ill about the company she's worked for. She made comments saying wrestling is fake, wrestling is scripted, and this is like a shoot work type style. But still, to me, you don't cross that line. Regardless if you want the attention, you don't cross that line. Don't sit here and say wrestling's fake and then work for WWE just like a year later. Because after those comments she made, they brought her back. Um, After she said it was all fake and everything. Now here she is claiming to not work for WWE anymore, and now she's back to making these comments. Now she's saying, "Oh, this ain't my circus, not my monkey." Okay, so why did you go back the first time? If it's all fake and you don't like it, why are you going back? Obviously, it's money driven, right? Um, and I, and when I say this isn't the first time she made comments about the company she works for, she's making comments about the UFC as well. Some nasty comments there too, which I'll look into. But it's just wild how entitled she is, and how she's just never happy. She should be grateful working in a company like WWE that they even gave her that opportunity. She worked with some of the best names in the business, and she's still just a hateful person. To me, she's coming out like the female Bret Hart. Bret Hart does nothing. He does nothing but complain now, crying, complain. No matter how good he is, he's never happy. And this is basically Ronda Rousey. She's a great MMA fighter. She's made a lot of money, but she just complains. Doesn't matter how good you are. When you sit there and complain, people aren't going to respect you. And that's what Ronda Rousey is doing. She's going to ruin her legacy by doing this. Nobody's going to want to work with her. I'll be surprised if the UFC even considers re-signing her. I don't know what she'll do, if she'll re-sign with UFC, or what she's gonna do. Eventually, she's gonna need money, so I don't know, but who knows? But this is just crazy. The comment she makes about WWE. What did she expect it was gonna be? I don't know, but who knows, guys? I never cared for Ronda Rousey. After she made those comments in that shoot work type interview where she said wrestling's fake, it's fake fighting, she called it. Um, I know she made a lot of her colleagues mad, and to me, you don't respect the business like that. Don't call the business fake. Don't try to expose the business. That if you're a wrestling fan, you know better. If you love wrestling, you know better. That's just things you don't do. Wrestlers back in the day protected the business against people like Ronda Rousey. She got the name Rowdy Ronda Rousey from Roddy Piper. And if Roddy Piper heard the things she was saying, he'd be rolling over in his grave, because that is a man who respected the business, tried to protect the business. If you don't believe me, go watch the Bill Maher interview. He was a guy that protected the business, and he would not like Ronda Rousey disrespecting the business in that way, like she's doing. Um, and these comments about her make wrestling being a circus, she's not returning. Yeah, I'd look past it if she didn't make comments before calling it fake. That's just my thoughts. But just wanted to come on here and talk about it, give my thoughts about this, and yeah. So, what are you guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments. What do you think about Ronda Rousey uh, talking ill about WWE? Let me know. Like and subscribe, guys.